Hello everyone! In this video, I will be sharing how to make a decorative butterfly knot. Hello and welcome back to my channel. For this project, you will need a surface to hold your work in place. I am using 2 scraps of cardboard. You will also need some cord. I am using 10mm braided cotton cord and also some pins. My cord is 200 inches or 508 centimeters long, and first take your rope, fold it in half, and find the center. Next, take that center part of the cord and pin it to the upper left corner of your board. That point will be the top of our butterfly. Now, take the portion to the right of the center and make a loop at the bottom of the board. Stick a pin in it to hold it in place. Continue with that cord and bring it up to the top of the board. Stick a pin to hold it in place. Now continue with that cord, bringing it around in a counterclockwise direction, making a circle, and then bringing the end down. The circle will be in the upper right-hand corner of the board. Also, make sure to cross the cord that is facing down underneath that circle. Pin it in place here to secure it. Now we will create another loop at the bottom right-hand corner, lining up with the previous one, and stick a pin in it. Then take that cord and bring it up and pass it underneath the circle at the top right-hand corner. I also like to place a pin to hold the circle in place. Now we will create our first Josephine knot. To do so, we will weave the cord over and under 5 different cords. We will weave it over the first part, under the second, over the third, under the fourth line in the middle of the circle, and over the 5th at the edge of the circle. Again, that's over the first, under the second, over the third, under the 4th, and over the 5th. Continue with pulling that cord all the way through all 5 lines, and then we will have the Josephine knot, which looks a bit like a pretzel. This Josephine knot will be the right wing of our butterfly, and we should also have 2 loops at the bottom of our board. Those 2 loops have 4 vertical lines that we will weave through. We will weave under the first line, over the second, under the third, and over the 4th from right to left horizontally, and pull the cord all the way through. Now we will continue with that cord and bring it back in the other direction. Now continue and weave over the first line, under the second, over the third, and under the 4th from left to right. Pull that cord all the way through, and once you do, we'll have a 3rd loop on the left side of the board, and we will pin that in place. Now continue with that cord, taking it back the other way, under the first, over the second, under the third, and over the 4th from right to left. Place 2 pins on these ends here on the right to hold it in place. Now continue with that same cord and weave it over the first, under the second, over the third, and under the 4th from left to right. Place another pin here at the end of this loop to hold it in place. Now we are done with the tying portion of the right section of the piece, and we will continue with the left section. Place a pin at the end of the right section tail to hold it in place. Then take that left section and pull it in a downward direction, placing a pin to hold it in place in the upper left-hand corner of your board. Now continue with that cord and we will weave it horizontally. You should see that we have 4 vertical cords, and we will make sure to only pass it through these 4 vertical cords and leave out this 5th one. First, we will take this cord and pass it over all 4 of those vertical cords from left to right. Now we will bring that cord back the other way and pull it underneath all 4 of those cords from right to left. Once you pull it all the way through, you can stick a pin in that loop to hold it in place. Continue with that cord and bring it to the bottom left-hand corner of the board, around these 2 loops on the left side of the board. And we will create a circle in a counterclockwise direction similar to the other one we did earlier in the upper right hand corner. Stick a couple of pins in the circle to hold it in place. Continue with that cord, taking it under the cord where it's crossing to create a circle. Continue with that cord and pass it over all 4 of the vertical cords from left to right, and make sure to do it in between those 2 loops. Now continue with that cord and bring it from right to left and pass it underneath all 4 cords. Once you pull it all the way through, you can also stick a pin in that loop to hold it in place. Continue with that cord by pulling it underneath both lines in the circle as well, from right to left. Now we are ready to make our second Josephine knot like we did before. To do this, we will weave the cord over and under the 5 cords. We will weave over the first, under the second, over the third, under the fourth, and over the 5th. Again, that's over the first, under the second, over the third, under the fourth, and over the 5th. Here we'll pass it over the first and under the second, then over the third and under the 4th line, which is in the middle of that circle, and over the 5th. Pull that cord all the way through, creating our Josephine knot. This knot will be the left wing of the butterfly, and I actually like to take out that second pin to adjust the knot. Now we're almost done with this knot, and make sure to really focus on this next part because it's really important for finishing it. We will now weave the cord vertically over and under these horizontal 8 cords. First, we will weave it from bottom to top all the way to the left of this first loop here on the bottom left-hand corner. So feel free to move this loop over a bit to the right in order to make it easier to pass the cord through. To do this, I just move those 3 pins in that loop over to the right a bit and then push them back down to secure them. Now we are ready to weave vertically, and we will go under 1, over 2, over 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, over 7, and over 8. Pull it all the way through. Now we will take that cord and weave from top to bottom. We will go under 1, under 2, over 3, under 4, under 5, under 6, over 7, and under 8. So again, that's under 1 and under 2, over 3, and under 4, and under 5, under 6, over 7, and under 8. Pull that cord all the way through. Now we will continue with that cord and weave it again vertically from bottom to top and then top to bottom again. And we will do so between the 2 vertical loops. This time we will weave from bottom to top, and we will weave under 1, over 2, over 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, over 7, and over 8. So again, that's under 1 and over 2, over 3 and over 4, then under 5. Over 6, over 7, and over 8. Pull that cord all the way up to the top. Now we'll take the cord from top to bottom and we'll bring it under 1, under 2, over 3, under 4, under 5, under 6, over 7, and under 8. So again, that's under 1, under 2, over 3, under 4, under 5, under 6, over 7, and under 8. Pull that cord all the way through. Now the tying portion of our knot is complete and it only needs to be tightened now. So the key to tightening is we want to take our time with this and make sure we get the knot right. So now take your board and tilt it slightly to the right so that we'll see the knot the correct way around. And you should see 2 wings as the Josephine knots, the 2 bottom loops on each corner, and the top center part is the top of the knot. As we tighten, I like to keep the pin in each of the corners to make it a bit easier when we're tightening. So now I like to simply take out the pins one at a time and taking them out in every section that isn't in one of those 5 corners, and then gently tightening each strand one at a time, focusing my attention to each of the corners. Make sure to simply follow each strand and cord in the knot as you do this. And when you want to adjust the corners, just take out the pin for a moment, tighten it, and then put it back to anchor it again into the board. And I'll continue to just show you this in real time, how I tighten this knot for your reference. Also, I do have to say that it may take you a few times before you get this knot, and that's totally understandable. These knots are very tricky, and this is a very tricky knot, so make sure to be patient with yourself while doing them. And let me know in the comments below if you have any questions as well. At this point, the knot is almost done with being tightened, so now we just need to tighten up the center. I find it's best to push up on the center part of the knot and pull on each of the corners of the knot to tighten it. And then follow all of the strands of the knot to adjust it and secure it into place. And continue to do this until the knot is completely tightened in the center. In order to adjust the bottom loops, you can just pull on one and it'll adjust the other to make them the same size. Once I was done tightening, this is how the knot looked. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please let me know in the comments below and give this video a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more macrame tutorials, art vlogs, and upcycle DIYs. Thank you for watching and see you next time.